Welcome. My name is Joseph, and I'm a mythology enthusiast.
And I'm Zach, and I know nothing about mythology.
This is Pomegranate Seeds, the podcast where we nerd out about mythology. If you like what you hear, like and subscribe for more content. Or if you hear something you think is not quite right, or if you just want to show your support, leave a comment below. In our first episodes, we're going to be focusing on Epic the Musical, which loosely adapts the Odyssey in musical format. The first song from Epic is called The Horse and the Infant, and it's super dense and just sort of drops you into the end of the Trojan War. Let's go ahead and have a listen now.
Alright, my brothers, listen closely. Tonight we make the Trojans pay. 10 years of war, they killed us slowly, but now we'll be the ones who slay. Think of your wives and your children. Your families wonder where you've been. They're growing old and yet you're still here. Do what I say and you'll see them again.
Yes, sir!
Diomedes will lead the charge. Agamemnon will flank the yards. Menelaus will let our mates through the gates to take the whole city at large. Teucer will shoot any ambush attacking. Little Ajax will stay back. Nestor, secure Helen and protect her. Leo, avenge your father, kill the brothers of Hector.
Yes, sir!
Find that inner strength now. Use that well of pride. Fight through every pain now. Ask yourself inside, what do you live for? What do you try for? What do you wish for? What do you fight for?
What do you live for? What do you try for? What do you wish for? What do you fight for?
Penelope, and Telemachus. I fight for us. I fight for us.
What do you live for?
Penelope,
What do you try for?
Telemachus,
What do you wish for?
I'm on my way.
What do you fight for?
Attack! Who was that?
A vision of what is to come cannot be outrun, can only be dealt with right here and now.
Tell me how.
I don't think you're ready. A mission to kill someone's son, a foe who won't run, unlike anyone you have faced before.
Say no more. I know that I'm ready.
I don't think you're ready.
It's just an infant. It's just a boy. What sort of imminent threat does he pose that I cannot avoid?
This is the son of none other than Troy's very own Prince Hector. Know that he will grow from a boy to an avenger, one fumed with rage as you're consumed by age. If you don't end him now, you'll have no one left to save. You can say goodbye to. You can say goodbye to.
I could raise him as my
He will burn
own,
your
or
house
send
and
him far
throne.
away
He'll
from
find
home.
you wherever
Make sure his
you
past
go.
is never
The gods will make him
known. I'd rather
know
wait
we're
for ya.
bringing you down
I'm on my knees for ya. I'll beg you,
This is the
please.
will of the gods.
Please don't make me do this. Don't make me do this.
The blood on your hands is something you won't lose. All you can choose is whose.
So,
So,
let's get back into it. What's up?
yeah, so I immediately, feel as if they're just name dropping, a whole bunch of people to name drop a whole bunch of people.
Well, we can absolutely talk about that.
Okay.
However, there is so much background that we didn't even have time to talk about before we got into that. Basically, all of the gods were invited to the marriage of Peleus, who was a king in the mortal realm, except for Eris, the goddess of strife, which is like the person you probably want to invite to everything, right? She was pretty upset about it. And after the wedding, she showed up and threw down a golden apple in front of all the gods and goddesses of Olympus, and it was inscribed with "For the fairest." This is known as the Apple of Discord. Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite all tried to lay claim to it.
Can we recap here for a second?
Yes.
So, Peleus. Thank you. Peleus
completely unimportant.
Is completely unimportant, but there's a marriage going on.
There's a marriage going on between Peleus and someone. And everyone's invited except for the god of strife. Yes.
Whose name is?
Eris.
And so, Eris makes an apple?
It's kind of... Some people say that that's where the apple of the Garden of Eden comes from in mythology. But it's not really explained. She just makes this golden apple, and it's the apple of discord, and they don't really ever explain where it comes from, and she's not like the god of apples or anything. It's just what it is.
So the strife goddess somehow makes.
She does make.
She does make the apple of strife, and now 4 other goddesses want it.
3 other goddesses.
3 other goddesses. I don't understand why this goddess of strife... I can't go back here for a second. I don't understand why she even made an apple. And she wasn't invited. Is this apple a party favor?
It might be a party favor.
Okay.
From my understanding, the apple is more of a MacGuffin than anything.
Okay.
It's like something to...
This invented
the plot device of MacGuffins.
Okay, got it.
I think. But yeah, we don't. The apple is actually completely unimportant.
Because of the apple.
There's a beauty contest, and the apple is the prize of this beauty contest.
Okay.
So obviously you need a judge for a beauty contest, right?
Sure. Of course.
Who would you pick?
Odysseus.
No.
Oh.
You're in Olympus. There's one person whose entire thing is judgment. Yes, it's Zeus. So they say, "Please, Zeus, come judge our beauty contests," and he says, "I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole."
Smart man.
And so instead, he decides, I'm going to go find some mortal that I can foist this off on for 2 or 3 really big reasons. Number 1, he doesn't want to be the reason that there's a war between the gods, which there absolutely would be if he chose, right? Number 2, if the other goddesses who don't get picked are chosen, or, get upset, then, well, they're just going to kill some mortal and it won't be a big deal, right? Right. So,
mortals are expendable.
Mortals are 100% expendable. You and I do not matter in the grand scheme of things.
You either.
You too. So he chooses the prince Paris, Prince of Troy.
Okay.
Because Paris is known to be a fair and honest judge. Paris, upon being told this...
But he's just going to get killed anyway.
Well...
Okay, all right.
We're jumping ahead.
Okay.
Paris, upon being told this, goes and he speaks to all 3 goddesses, and he has them tell him a little bit about themselves. And Hera says, "Well, listen, between you and me, I don't think I'm going to win this contest, but if you let me win, I'm going to go ahead. I'll give you a kingdom and I'll give you power." And he says, "Oh, that's a pretty good deal." And then he goes to Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war, says to him, "Look, between you and me, I don't think I'm going to win this contest. But if, something happened and I was going to win, I would give you wisdom in battle and I would give you great victories." And he says, "Oh, that's pretty good too. But I still need to go talk to Aphrodite." And so he talks to Aphrodite, who says to him, "Listen, I really don't think I'm going to win this contest, but if I do, I know that you're pretty set in life, and the only thing you're missing is a wife, right? You're missing a real hot trophy wife." And he said, "That's a really good point if Aphrodite wins." So, Aphrodite wins.
Okay.
Goddess of love. And she says, "Okay, well, you may have the most beautiful woman in the world as your wife." And the most beautiful woman in the world is, famously, Helen of Sparta, who is the daughter of Zeus and Leda. There's one problem with this pairing between Helen and Paris. It's that Helen's been married for like 10 years. So, But just because there's a goalie doesn't mean you can't score, right? So,
especially if you have Aphrodite on your side.
Right. Well, so what do you think Aphrodite is going to do to help out here?
Make Helen fall in love with her. And
that would be a great idea, wouldn't it? That is not what Aphrodite does.
That's not what happens?
That is not what Aphrodite does. Aphrodite tells Paris, well, you go ahead and you go to Sparta, and you go as a guest and just go and visit Menelaus and say, hey, Menelaus, king of Sparta, we're just going to hang out for a little bit. Once you've been there a couple of nights, I'm going to go ahead and make all of the men in the palace fall asleep, and then you can kidnap her and take her home. That's what Aphrodite, the goddess of love, does.
It's the Greek version of love, I suppose.
It is a version of love. Now, granted, there are definitely tellings where Aphrodite does make Helen fall in love with her, but even then, it's normally played off as Aphrodite mind controlled her, not like it's not like she shot Cupid's arrow, right? As what would normally happen in this sort of thing where it's done the right way. But yeah,
the right way to make another man's wife fall in love with you.
Yes, which is to have Cupid, not Aphrodite, make them fall in love.
Cupid is Greek?
I think technically it's Eros. I think Cupid is Roman.
Okay.
So that's my bad. I believe Eros is the god of love, and Aphrodite is the goddess of love in Greek mythology.
Okay. What does this have to do with Troy and a horse?
Normally, you steal another man's wife in ancient Greece. Yeah, it'll probably be fine. But there's about 3 things that make this not the case. First one, Menelaus is the king of Sparta, and Sparta is known for
fighting.
Yeah, absolutely.
300 against
10,000.
Yeah.
That is what Sparta is known for.
I don't think I'd steal a Spartan wife.
Spartans love fighting. The second thing is Menelaus is not the nicest guy, just in general. He's, by all accounts, he's just kind of mean to people. And they go into that pretty deeply in the Iliad, where he's incredibly mean to everyone who's underneath him.
Was he mean to his wife?
So
maybe this is
this could be he's saving her. It could be.
We could almost read it that way.
But then the third thing, the most important thing, is something called the Oath of Tyndareus. Tyndareus.
The Oath of Tyndareus.
Now, Tyndareus is Helen's father, and he's also Penelope's father, but that's not really it's tangential. Penelope, who is the wife of Odysseus. So, back whenever people were courting Helen and looking for her hand, it was a very similar situation to what we see at the end of the Odyssey, where you have all these suitors that are living in the father's house, and they're vying for her hand in marriage. And, you got 100 guys, and they're all in a room, and they're all like, I want to marry her, no, I want to marry her. And the problem comes in when they realize that if any one person actually wins Helen's hand, everyone else is just going to set on him and just kill him. So Odysseus, being the smart man that he is, goes to Tyndareus and says, look, here's what you need to do. I already know that I am not going to win Helen's hand, because I'm just mid-tier.
So Odysseus wanted Helen too.
He didn't really want her that bad. It was just
okay.
He was more or less required to court her because he was a king and whatever.
It's what one does.
It's what one does. Yes.
Okay.
So he goes to Tyndareus and he says, you need to make everyone here make a pact that whoever Helen chooses, they will defend and support. So, after this, she chooses Menelaus, who is the king of somewhere else. He becomes the king of Sparta.
Yeah. Okay.
Because she was the princess of Sparta. He marries her and becomes the king of Sparta.
Oh, she was the princess of Sparta.
Yes, and so was Penelope.
Okay. Spartan girls really prominent.
They know how to get it done.
Featuring prominently in these stories.
Yes, they are. We'll get more into Spartan women later.
Okay, don't mind that.
Okay. So, because of this Oath of Tyndareus, every single person who was a suitor of Helen of Troy is now honor-bound to go help Menelaus take Helen back from Troy.
So, who's this Peleus, is that who it is?
Peleus.
Peleus is the judge?
Paris.
Paris.
Paris is the judge. Paris of Troy.
So Paris is of Troy. Is he
Yes.
the king of Troy, or he's just like
He's
some
just
dude
a
in
prince.
Troy?
He's a prince of Troy.
He's a prince of Troy. Okay.
Which kind of makes Hera's offer to him like a little bit weirder to me, because presumably he's already a prince. Why does he need a kingdom?
He could have a bigger kingdom.
He could have a bigger kingdom. That's fair.
Okay, so he's of Troy, and he's
Yes.
kidnapped the Spartan wife,
Yes.
and all the other Greeks are sworn to go because they all wanted to marry Helen.
Yes,
Now they have to fight for her.
that's correct.
Okay. So I'm already seeing like several places where this whole thing could have been averted. First of all, if the goddesses Athena and Hera and Aphrodite just had like a self-esteem class or something, like this whole thing could have been avoided.
Let me stop you right there. The gods do not learn. That will not happen.
Oh no.
That is not something that happens. They are as
We
they
could
are.
put on like a seminar for them.
I think that's a great idea. We should institute ancient Greece seminar.
We could say self-esteemliness is next to godliness.
Ooh. Write that down.
Write that down.
Write that down.
That seems like the first place that this all could have been
Yes.
avoided.
Yes, indeed.
I don't know. There's something about like a golden apple and strife, but like, yeah, it seems like just inviting the god of strife. It sounds like maybe he was pissed off, or she was pissed off.
She was pissed off. It was
Sounds
the
like she
goddess.
was maybe pissed off or something.
Yeah.
So maybe just inviting her to this wedding
Yeah, it
would
was.
have been good
It was
too.
really rude. To be fair, really rude. There's no reason for it.
But then, like, I also heard this oath of
Tyndareus
Oh, the oath of Tyndareus.
or Darius.
Tyndareus.
Tyndareus, I think.
The oath of Timmy.
Yeah.
Whenever Helen changes her choice, like if Aphrodite just makes him fall in love with the Troy man,
Mm-hmm.
Paris, it feels like then the oath of Tyndareus, then don't they kind of have to support the Troy man then?
No, because that's not quite. Because they all swore to protect Menelaus.
Oh.
They didn't swear to protect whoever she was with. It was the person who she chose at the time of that suit.
It was a time bound thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now all of the Mythicaean Greek states, Mycenaean Greek states, have to go to war with Troy,
That's correct. Yes.
and that's how there's a horse.
We aren't. We're getting there.
Okay.
We'll get to the horse.
Okay.
Hold your horses. Okay.
All right. So we're at war with the Greek
We're
states.
now at war with Troy. We, the Greek city-states, are at war with Troy.
So are we at the point now in the story where Odysseus is yelling to all of his people about what they're going to do?
Not quite yet. We're really close.
Okay.
We're really close. So everyone's bound to come save her from Paris and Troy. And it just so happens that this is going to turn into a 10-year-long war. And that, that might feel really like either specific or over dramatized or whatever. And like really it was a 10-year-long war. That feels kind of
It's a long
round.
war.
It feels like a round.
It's a long round number.
Right. And the fact is that experts believe that 10 was just kind of like a number that they put whenever they meant like a really long ass time.
Okay.
But not so long that it's outside of the bounds of human understanding. Like 10 years is around one generation's worth of time back in that day, because women would be getting married off at anywhere from like 10 to 18.
Oh
So,
my.
yeah, we don't even need to get into that part of it. But so that's really what they mean whenever they say it's a 10-year long war. It was a long, long war, and it sucked.
Okay.
All this is to say that even within the first couple lines of this song that we just listened to, The Horse and the Infant, we've glossed over so much backstory. There's so much that went on before this.
I imagine
But-
there's like a lot that went on in the war itself.
There was a ton that went on in the war itself.
Okay.
There would be, I would say, an Iliad of things that went on.
Oh,
in
that's
the
what
war
the
itself.
Iliad's about.
Yes.
What happens in the
Uh-huh.
war?
Yes.
Oh.
All right.
Will we do a series on the Iliad?
Well, I know that Jorge is planning Ilium, which is his adaptation of Iliad.
Okay.
So we probably will at that point, but we might
Quite-
not touch it until then.
Quite possibly.
Okay.
But we're gonna gloss over that for now.
We're glossing way
So
over
we're
it.
at the point where he's yelling at his men.
He's about to be yelling at his men, because we still need to talk a little bit about the Trojan horse. The siege of Troy is in the musical, it's kind of portrayed that Odysseus is the great general of the siege of Troy.
Yes.
Especially where he's ordering around all of these, you know, great Greek figures. He's ordering around Diomedes and Agamemnon and Menelaus.
These are like big people.
These are all big names. Every single person mentioned is a big name.
Okay.
And we're about to get into that as well.
Okay.
But he was really more of like, he was just like a guy. He was there. He had like, he brought his 600 people, and they were all under his command, but he was still ordering up.
And how many people were, like, roughly speaking in this?
Oh, I mean, sources really vary. They say it's anywhere from like 10,000 to 100,000.
Oh, okay.
But they're
so
also,
he was either a small player or a very smart player.
But they also, you know, say numbers that make absolutely no sense. Like the 300 versus 10,000 was really probably more like 300 versus 2 or 3,000 at the Thermopylae Pass, right? Now we're at present.
Okay, we're inside a horse.
We're inside a horse. It's pretty dark and smelly in here.
We're singing to our men.
Why did they...
That we don't actually own, but in the epic musical we do own.
Right. Why, like, what reason? Let's say that you're the city-state of Troy, and I'm all the other city-states.
Hold on.
And you've just watched me.
We're inside a horse.
You've just watched me spend weeks and weeks putting together this massive hollow wooden horse. Right outside your
They did it right outside?
They did it within their own camp, which is less than like, you know, maybe half a mile away from the city wall.
Okay.
Why you just watched me build this? Why are you gonna let me, like, why are you accepting this into your gates?
Was it a Greek thing?
No. So this was not actually a Greek. This was very substandard.
Very
non-standard.
Okay.
But they say to the Trojans, look, Athena said, you know, we're going to go ahead and give you this as an act of peace. And
Athena, the god of war.
Athena, the god of war, said, look, we feel bad about this whole thing. Here you go. Here's a god. We were told that if we don't give this to you, they're gonna go ahead and, you know, they're gonna smite us off the face of the earth. Now that sounds really sketch, doesn't it?
I'm beginning to wonder if Odysseus is smart or everyone else is stupid.
Two things can be real. So, obviously, you're the Trojans, and you go, well, that makes a ton of sense. And quite frankly, if you look at everything else that they've been told they have to do, both sides throughout the war, it actually does kind of make a lot of sense. There's so much, like, the Iliad is so full of them just like, all right, we have to do random side quests, or else we aren't going to be able to finish this war. So, frankly, this is not that out of the norm for what both the Greeks and the Trojans have been doing this entire time.
Okay.
So, you know, it kind of fits within that logic, that weird logic space where, like, nothing's really real.
Okay.
Alrighty. So now we are now at present. We're at present. We're inside a horse, and Odysseus is going to start rattling off a ton of names.
Okay.
And all these names might mean absolutely nothing to you, but these are all big names. So we've got Diomedes.
And they kind of mean nothing to the real story.
Yeah.
But we'll just kind of go through them.
In fact, I don't think any of them actually are on his ship whenever he leaves. So none of them die, actually. Well, some of them die, but not really.
Oh, because other ships get back fine.
Almost every other ship makes it back fine.
Except for Odysseus.
Because
they needed a book.
So yeah, exactly.
Okay.
He had what's the opposite of plot armor?
Okay, so let's just quickly go through who kind of these people are.
We're going to bang through them real quick. We got Diomedes. In the Iliad, he's the warrior who injures not one but multiple gods in combat. He injures Ares by stabbing him in the stomach, and then Ares is, you know, kind of a little. He's really good at the brutality side as long as he's dishing it out and not taking it.
Oh.
So he stabs him in the stomach, and Ares goes and cries back to Olympus. And then he also is able to stab Athena, I think. Not Athena. Aphrodite.
But, so he's fighting gods?
Yeah, so that's actually pretty...
Why is he fighting I didn't think that would be, like, a couth thing.
So, first of all, yeah, all of the gods have taken a side. This has become such a big thing that all the gods have had to take a side in this war. It's become so drawn out and pronounced. And you have people like Zeus, Athena, and Hera on the side of the Greeks for multiple different reasons. And then you have Ares and Aphrodite and Apollo, I believe, on the side of the Trojans.
So at least Aphrodite's on the side of the Trojans, because that would be pretty poor manners.
Yeah, she better be.
That'd be pretty poor manners to get you in this situation.
Yeah, she really better be on the side of the Trojans. That would be incredibly rude.
Okay, so during the actual wars when the fighting
wars
happened, so Diomedes is just kind of a badass.
He's kind of just a badass. Yeah,
Okay.
He's kind of just like
overpowered.
the goat. He's one of the few mortals who actually hurts divinity in all of Greek mythology.
Okay,
Now
cool.
he's not the only one. There are others. But,
Okay.
So it's not unheard of for a mortal to injure a god.
Okay.
In fact, Perseus in some tellings even kills Dionysus.
Okay. Let's move on.
Yes. Next is Agamemnon. He was the commander of the Greek army. He's the king of Mycenae. And he's basically the big boss general. He's the guy who's really, leading the charge and everything. And then we have Menelaus, who's the husband of Helen, who is the one whose insulted marriage started the entire war. Okay.
Okay, that's the king of Sparta.
Yes. Moving on, Odysseus mentions Little Ajax, which is clearly a reference to Ajax the Lesser. You might be wondering why we have Ajax the Lesser. It implies the existence of Ajax the Greater, who does in fact exist, and that's also kind of rude. Like Ajax the Greater and Ajax the Lesser.
Is the Greater not his big brother or something?
No, they are unrelated.
They're unrelated.
Unrelated.
That's unfortunate for Little Ajax.
It's very unfortunate for Little Ajax. He does not have the best time.
So, but who is Little Ajax?
Little Ajax is actually also a master of combat. So they call them Ajax the Greater and Ajax the Lesser, literally because one of them is a big guy and one of them is a little guy. So
But
Ajax
the little
Lesser,
guy could beat up the big guy?
Well, it could go either way.
Okay.
Maybe. He's called Ajax the Lesser because he's small and he's incredibly fast and he's incredibly deadly. And the other one is Ajax the Greater for the opposite reason. He's incredibly large and he's incredibly slow, but he's very powerful.
Okay.
He is also the main reason that they have a problem getting home in the first place, Ajax the Lesser, whenever they leave Troy.
Yeah,
we'll get into that. No, okay, we can get into it now. Basically, he goes into the temple of Apollo and he violates the Cassandra, the daughter of Priam and the priestess of Apollo, who's an oracle. And the gods were pretty much all cool up to that point, and they were not so cool after that point.
Oh, so Ajax the Lesser is the problem.
Yes.
For raping reasons.
Yes.
Okay. Seems like
for consent purposes.
Yeah. Okay. So not getting consent problem.
Exactly. Well,
if it's in the goddesses.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's actually less about the not getting consent part and more about who and where.
Okay. The Greeks are.
They're very big on time and a place for everything.
Interesting.
So
Ajax, bad person.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
So next we have Teucer, who is a deadly archer, but he's known for he famously shot from behind Ajax the Greater's shield. He would stand behind Ajax and then duck out and shoot people. So he was, the world's first stealth archer.
He's a sniper.
He's a sniper, right?
Like the movie Sniper.
I don't know that I've seen that one.
It's exactly the same as what you just described. All right, let's move on.
And then we have Nestor, who is the old man of the group. In Homer, he's always giving speeches and advice. He's probably included here just because his name rhymes well, because he was more of a counselor than like a field combatant.
He's a thinker, not a fighter.
He's a thinker, not a fighter. He's a
Odysseus is a thinker and a fighter.
Exactly, and that's why the book's not called Nestorius.
And that'd be the Nestasy.
The Nestasy.
Okay, let's move on.
Next we have Neo, he mentions, which clearly refers to Neoptolemus, or Pyrrhus, who is the son of Achilles. At Troy's fall, he's remembered as being incredibly brutal, because he was, his father had just been slain in combat, and then Hector, Hector, whom slown him,
yeah,
paraded his body outside the gates of Troy for like a month. Like he tied a rope around his ankle,
Oh my!
tied it to the back of his chariot, and then would ride a circle around Troy for
You
like
can
a
just
month.
do that around Troy? Are you like inside the walls?
No,
of
no,
Troy?
on the outside.
How do the people not like?
Well,
him?
because their camp is pretty far away, and he's pretty fast on a chariot. You're not gonna catch that.
But you're like dragging like a weight behind you.
Yeah, you're thinking too much.
That's right. Hector is not the smart one. That's Odysseus.
That's
and
Odysseus. He's the smart one. So that's all
everyone.
the name drops.
We
No
drop-
more name drops. Well, okay. That's all the name drops of people who will never show up again in this story.
Okay.
So we know. Stop thinking about them. I know you're thinking about them, but you got to cut it out. So.
I don't think.
All right. So now.
So we give the battle plans.
We give our battle plans and then we execute them, and that's
the next part of this.
all well and good. We're going into the next part of the song. So basically, Zeus says, Zeus sends him a vision of him being slain,
Sloon. Okay.
and tells him this is the son of Hector.
This is in the song,
This is in the song.
but not in the. Okay.
Well, okay, we'll get to that
Let's
after
go.
we talk. So he says this is Hector's son, and he's going to grow up and kill you if you don't kill him now.
Yes.
And Odysseus is incredibly distraught by this.
Mm.
And in the original, it's not really like so much of a vision as it is. They all just come together and are like, all right, here's the son of Hector. The people of Troy literally call him Astyanax, which means future of Lord of the City, and it symbolizes the future. His given name is Scamandrius, which I thought was a really fun name.
It sounds like Newt's Commandrius.
Yeah, Newt Scamander. Yeah.
Newt's Commander. Maybe that's
Yeah.
where Rowling got the name from.
It probably is. Like, let's be honest.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So, the real big difference here is that it takes the killing of Astyanax or Scamandrius
Or
away from
Newt's
being
Commander.
Newt Scamander, away from being a group decision that they all are like, well, we gotta like raise Troy
They
to the
just
ground.
basically all of these Greek leaders that you just mentioned got together and said, "Look at this baby. We have to kill it
Yes, because they're good people.
because they're good people."
Because yeah,
And instead, in the song,
in the song it's just
Zeus
Odysseus.
decides to tell him to kill the
Yes,
baby.
in the song Zeus tells him.
Because
And
this doesn't have really any ramifications in the story at all, one way or the other. The gods didn't care that they killed the baby in the actual story.
they didn't really care. Some of them care a little bit, but it's never your major gods.
This isn't why the Odyssey happens.
No, this is not why the Odyssey happens.
Okay, so this is just like a revisionist history to make Odysseus and the Mycenaean Greeks look better.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. Which, to be fair, that's
Yeah,
kinda,
they needed a little. They needed a little bit of plussing
They
up.
needed a PR. They needed a PR. team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'll note that they sort of. So, and that's kind of the end of the song, right?
Yeah, the
he kind of
song's
gets like
over here.
he kind of gets like a little bit like, I don't know if I could do this, and then they say, "Do it, wimp," and then he does it. And then
He hasn't even done it yet.
the song's basically over.
The song's over, but before he...
Oh, he hasn't
even
done it
yet. Yeah, we got, like,
I
two
kind
more
of
songs
I was
for
so confused by the song. I don't even know where we ended.
it. All right.
Okay, so I guess the only two other people they talk about are Penelope and Telemachus in the song.
Penelope and Telemachus.
And we
yes.
have not. I mean, okay, let's talk about them.
Well, not much to say, really, that we haven't already said. Penelope is Odysseus' wife, and he earned her hand from Tyndareus whenever he gave him the idea to create the Oath of Tyndareus. The Oath of Time.
The Oath of Time.
And then Telemachus.
So there was no Oath of Time for this though.
No, well, no, she wasn't that pretty.
She wasn't that.
She
pretty.
wasn't that pretty.
So is she Helen's sister?
She is Helen's sister. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and then Telemachus is their son, who was born very, very briefly before.
And so in here,
he
it's
left.
just establishing the motive of
Odysseus.
Odysseus.
Mhm.
He wants to survive the war, so he gets back to Penelope and his son.
Yep, more or less.
And then that's what the gods used to make him commit the heinous crime
Yeah.
of killing the baby, which he just totally did anyway.
Yeah. I mean,
Understood.
Yeah. It was the right move. So.
And I guess the only other thing is they don't really talk about Ajax's crimes, which is the actual reason for the Odyssey. They sort of sweep that under the rug.
Well,
and there really is no reason for the
Jorge really
for the Odyssey.
He really cuts down on all the. He kind of cuts down on a lot of the brutality and problematic.
This will be a theme that we see as the story continues, doesn't it? It's
more or less, yeah.
Brutality and we'll say 21st century problematic elements of stories.
Yeah. And that actually is really. We'll talk about that a lot more when we get to Polyphemus, the Cyclops.
Okay.
Because there is that's a really interesting
topic. I'm excited.
But, yeah, the theme I think is clear.
What themes? Let's bring this together. Yeah. What themes do you think we're setting up?
I think the main theme we're setting up here.
Epic the musical. What themes do you think we're setting up from Epic the musical, and how do they differ or are the same from the original Greek?
Well, one thing that's the same is the cycle of vengeance. The biggest difference is between the two.
What do you mean by the cycle of vengeance?
Well, think about it this way: an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. I cut out your eye, you cut my throat, and then my whole tribe comes back and we kill everyone from your tribe, and then the friends of your tribe come back and they wipe out all of that.
So are they saying that this is a bad thing?
They are saying this is a bad thing. Okay. Or at the very least that you need to think before you act.
So when someone steals your wife, you should just let them do it.
Well, not necessarily. That's more or less justified.
Stealing wives is justified?
No.
Oh, no.
The Trojan War is more or less justified.
Okay.
In Greek.
So that's not part of the cycle of vengeance.
That's not part of it. The problem is what Ajax does, and then in the Odyssey, it's what later Odysseus does.
So Ajax, I mean, he is doing it not just because he's a man, but also because it's actually an FU to Troy?
So more or less, yeah. So Priam is the king. And he is slayed by Slowen by Neoptolemus. Yes, he's slain by Neoptolemus.
Okay.
And yeah, that's So cycle of vengeance is.
And that was the Cassandra was the king's wife. Daughter. Okay. And so he kind of does this just specifically as a FU to the king of Troy.
More or less, but it's actually more
for being complicit in the war and all that, and all the pent up frustration of the war.
So there's something to that, but it's
this is sort of what starts the cycle of unjustified violence in
the original myths. Yes,
original myths.
Okay. And in fact, we've started to set up cutting off the cycle of vengeance, if in Epic, but we haven't actually started a cycle of vengeance yet because all he's done so far is kill.
Well, to be clear,
Astyanax, and everyone's actually cool with it.
Killing Astyanax is cutting off the cycle of vengeance?
Yes, because if he hadn't, then Astyanax would have come back as an avenger, as is said in the song. So
the way that you stop the cycle of violence is by killing anyone who could continue it.
You heard it here first.
Oh, okay.
Violence solves literally everything. Okay. It always has.
That's interesting. Interesting takeaways.
Yes. Yeah, so that's more or less where we're going to end this off, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds... I'll have to do some thinking between now and next. It seems like the cycle of... It seems like at first glance there's a cycle of vengeance being bad is a positive message. But it does seem like maybe the Greeks have a... weird way of weird understanding of that doesn't cleanly map onto modern values.
Yeah.
So that'll be something that I think maybe we'll have to think about as we move forward.
Yeah. And we're definitely going to get into that more later on.
Okay.
Alrighty. Well, thank you very much for watching. Feel free to leave a comment. Anything you have?
I'm interested to see where this goes.